and welcome to the NXT review. We are the Dadley Boyz of What Culture. I'm Adam Wilborn, joined by Michael Hamflett and Michael Sidgwick, here to review everything that happened on last night's episode of NXT. But before we get into it, if you're a fan of this sort of thing, make sure you subscribe to What Culture Wrestling on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Amazon Music, and YouTube, where we do daily wrestling podcasts where we not only review the show formerly known as NXT 2.0, an hour off, I don't know, AEW Dynamite, pay-per-views, premium live events. We have interviews, roundtable discussions, and a round of the week complete. A very good quiz, of course, on Wrestle Culture. As I said, though, joined by Hamflett and Sidgwick to review last night's NXT. Another stellar show.
No. How do they keep doing it?
This is every week. This is that.
They don't keep doing it.
How do they keep skits and bits and bullshit? It's just
bad.
How do they keep knocking it out of the park like this? Just when you're worried, that it's gone a bit match heavy, or it's like the main event scene's looking a bit serious. They blow that out of the water in the main event with a preposterous finish that I cannot wait to talk about, with an angle that is already all out of the shot.
Yep.
Huge backstage nonsense on this show to look forward to talking about, and like one of the acts that kind of define what we love about NXT, getting another getting another title opportunity.
Yes.
Getting another sort of chance to have a match that reminds you that, oh yeah, there does have to be matches over titles in this. I love it, man. I love it.
Sige, I've been watching a great TV show I'd highly recommend to people. It's called Breaking Bad.
It's excellent.
Well worth checking out. And I'm getting very much, they can't keep getting away with this vibes from you.
It is. It's very, he can't keep doing
I would
this.
compare these two shows to.
No, never in a million years. What season are you up to?
4, I think.
Glory.
Yeah, I think
4's the best one. 4's unbelievable. Like the amount of times in 4 where it's like, well, you're done.
Yeah.
One way or the other, you're done. There is absolutely no way you could ever get out of this situation. What?
Yeah, I'm having a good time.
The plotting, I think there's better shows than Breaking Bad. Like, obviously, I'm a cliche. Twin Peaks. I would argue that shut up, man, you arsehole. I think The Sopranos is probably better, funnier. I just happen to like it more. In terms of plotting and the actual technique of an art of plotting a series of events to wrong foot the viewer and to trap the characters in a situation from which there is no escape. But hang on, there's an escape. It is genius. Genius.
There's a weird thing, this is again to your tastes, get a bit cliffhanger heavy per episode for me towards the end. It's like, we're going to give you one a week.
Yeah.
Like that,
and I'm like, I'm greedy with it.
Like, ease up. But like, that thing you've described is like...
Ease up, I need it to be a little bit more boring.
Yeah. Come on, lads, dry it out.
Like a bottle episode, a bottle season.
Oh, the bottle episode of Breaking Bad's the best.
The Fly.
Yeah, that's the peak of the whole show. Have you had that one yet?
Yes. Yeah. I've not had... Is it Ozymandias that everyone
talks
about?
That's 5. Don't talk about 5, anyone.
Okay.
Is that 5? I was thinking that was 3 or 4.
No. Because I remember people
right
saying...
near the end.
People saying
close to the end.
One of the best TV
you
episodes ever.
You might be thinking of a different one.
Yeah, maybe.
People saying that's the best TV episodes ever. And I was like, well, we'll get to it one day. But
anyway, now one of the worst TV
The Wire
episodes
is better than
ever.
Breaking Bad, but I think season
5 really ruins it for me.
Season 5 of Breaking Bad is probably better than season 5 of The Wire.
Yep. Yeah. Season 5 of The Wire ruins it for me.
Ruins it.
I
go that far
actively don't think it's very good.
Oh, I don't disagree, but you think it ruins the whole show? Like, it
maybe
takes
that's
it away from the Champions League.
No, it doesn't. It's just, it's really like, it's so sophisticated, The Wire.
Yeah.
And then I just feel like, to the point of there's certain plots where like I'm like, I need to rewind that. Yeah. Or I need to go on the wiki. I don't know if you know what, I'm a little bit thick with certain things. And 5, it's like, I get it. Jesus Christ, I know what you're trying to do. I think it's one of those things that's so much better between the lines. Like, I know what they were going for and the message, but it's just told in a way that I just find it so blunt.
It's such a dive headfirst into schlock and trash, isn't it? Like, they almost embrace how trashy the storyline is of season 5. And you think, where's this attitude towards it come from?
Yeah, it's odd.
Well, speaking of must-watch TV, NXT opens.
I did the better segue, but never.
With, I know,
good. It was a good segue. No, we're talking about Prestige TV.
And speaking of great characters, Ava's there. She hasn't got a surname. She's the Rock's daughter and the general manager of NXT. She's got a meeting with the refs.
She wouldn't even be allowed to be an extra on The Wire or Breaking Bad. She wouldn't?
I don't know. She fits with some Sopranos adjacent characters on this show.
She's got a meeting with refs, etc., saying it's been a crazy few weeks. Anyone could show up. No issues tonight, please. Almost made it, didn't they?
Mm-hmm.
Almost. But we open with tag team turmoil to determine who the new #1 contenders are going to be. It's the gauntlet match, basically. Opens with the Newcastle Republic versus our boys Idris Enofi and Malik Blade. But unfortunately, their bad luck continues. They got a decent bit of offense in. There was a nice double blockbuster that Blade, I think, hit off the ropes.
Good near fall.
Bait and done, yeah. But Bate came back in, hit that rebound lariat German suplex combo, and they hit a double powerbomb, get the elimination, get the 1-2-3. They advance. More on Blade and Enofe in a little while. The second team in was Angle. I don't never know what's called.
Angel right now, yeah.
And Umberto Legado del Fantasma, basically. They got a near fall with that gory bomb flipping cutter combo thing that they do on Bate, but Dunn jumped in to make the save. Apollo Crews runs in and tries to interfere. Security gets involved, so they're doing their job. But that distraction causes Umberto to crash and burn. And Tyler Driver 97 gets the 1-2-3. Newcastle Republic on a roll here. Then they face the OC, Carl Anderson and Luke Gallows. We went to a break quite early on in this one. We come back with Tyler Blake airplane spinning Anderson. I'll swear I may have misheard this because it was very early in the morning. He was like,
no, you didn't.
Yeah, okay, good.
Make that noise.
He's back.
I missed it.
He's back to save Gallows. But in the end, they set up for the Magic Killer. Bate jumps off the top rope to break that up. And there's an inside cradle on Gallows. 1-2-3. The final round is Tyler Bate and Pete Dunne versus Chase U. Andre Chase and the man with the greatest hot tag in all of wrestling, Duke Bloody Hudson.
It is good.
It is great. Sorry, how can I overuse the word great?
He's been in developmental ages, isn't he?
Oh, he's like 40. They're all 40 years old.
He had a trip to the main roster as well.
In the Pando. MVP's got some new friends for a week.
Was that the Vink?
He's Vink.
Yeah.
Who's Vink?
In amongst all this, by the way, OTM come out and get into it with OC, and we'll circle back to that. Pete Dunne early on does the 10 forearms to the chest, but Andre Chase is wearing a jumper, so it's less effective. Yeah. We see a Duke Hudson hot tag. He comes into clean house, but he gets his fingers snapped by Dunne. Chase is on the floor, and it looks like Tyler Bate's going to do a big dive onto him, but at the last second, Ridge Bloody Holland sacrifices himself, takes the bullet for Andre Chase, and Bate gets sent back into the ring. Chase jumps off the top rope, high cross, 1-2-3. Chase, you win tag team turmoil.
I was buzzing with the result, and obviously when you put even if they're babyfaces right now, if you put a babyface team in the position to beat another babyface team that have ran the table, you are foreshadowing potentially that the babyfaces are going to turn heel, and obviously we're going to go into more detail about the potential divide and the conspiracies within the back into the left element of this Chase U split we're going to talk about later.
So good.
This was a bit like the Battle Royal last week, which means they can't really do this next week. They've done it twice now. They've gotten away with it. A bunch of wrestlers having a bunch of mini just fine matches, who cares, with storyline developments peppered throughout. And like the Battle Royal, I found it quite impressive as a result. Like, you've not just, because you read these teams out yesterday, it sounded so boring. Apart from Chase U.
I think we all just went Chase U.
I didn't even want anybody else to win. It's like, all you've done is illustrate this not particularly great division. But
I didn't put Stacks and Luca Crucifino in there. So.
Exactly, yeah. So not the best teams in the division. So you've got these teams, it's like, yeah, whatever, these. But then
only another hour or so.
You're folding in a bunch of little like mini stories. Like, most of these had angles related to them. You've done your best to really put over the Newcastle Republic of the best here. Yeah. And had they've got a shot through other means, they're not getting, like, Axiom and Nathan Frazier should be worried about these long term if they even keep the titles past the next PLE. And further the Chase U stuff, I don't want to see this all the time, but like the Battle Royal, I do like the format as a way to start the show.
I don't want to be confused with the worst people on the planet who discuss this sort of thing. But I thought New Catch Republic were like really like strong in this match.
Yeah.
I thought they were like their work was excellent. Yeah. Tyler Bate just looked like more dialed in than he has been. For a guy who does an airplane spin, let me tell you, this guy
airplane spin.
Let me just do that again. You know, for a guy with an airplane spin, it's quite apt because he can go into autopilot. On occasion.
Good.
Yeah, it's not great. Not by half. But I just thought he looked dialed in.
Yeah.
Yep. Explosive dives to the outside. I hate to be I did like my wrestling in the wrestling match here. What was the Rich Holland spot before the finish? No.
Yeah.
No, it's not rhetorical. It was kind of a rhetorical question. You've already spoke a lot, so I don't know why you're interjecting.
I'm just excited. I'm just glad to be here.
So, who does Tyler Bate?
Yes.
Does the dive onto him, right? So Tyler Bate executes an aerial maneuver onto Ridge Holland. That hurts Tyler Bate. It's not, you know what I mean? It's like, what happened?
Oh, like
no, seriously, what happened? I'm confused. So Ridge Holland was like,
Oh, yeah, he looked like he might have got an injury.
No, I'm thinking, like, how's that a good distraction? He got, you know what I mean? Am I getting bits of the match confused here?
No, I know what you're talking about.
Ridge Holland took it down.
by playing Human Shield, basically, he's protecting the team.
And they were also like, what the hell are you doing here?
Right. He didn't play Human Shield. I was very confused by this. Should he have bumped? How did it hurt Tyler Bate that much? Was it like he's so large?
It's Derby and Satnam City.
Yeah, like he's so large that Tyler Bate was like, oh, that hurt me.
Yeah.
Who got more hurt out of that one?
It's like that wrestling psychology.
Okay, so, right, okay. In conclusion, Ridge Holland continues to be useless.
It's that wrestling psychology thing where if you hit a drop kick, you're absolutely fine. If you miss one, you take an identical bump, but you're now in pain.
Yeah.
It's that.
He's already essentially doing his resets. He's doing his resets is Ridge Holland by going to wrestling school twice before the Brawling Brutes. He was in NXT, and then he's doing his resets. Now he's in another school within a school. And how much education does this guy need?
Written on his hand.
And wasn't there an element here in the back?
The Yorkshire Buster Bluth.
There was
and he's just as good at wrestling.
Arrested Developmental.
Yes.
Hey?
That is good. That's good.
The backstage bit afterwards, where it's like a brief Brawling Brutes reunion, was that what I meant to say? Perhaps Tyler Bate was trying to pull back when he realised it was Ridge. Like he wanted to go for the dive, but it's like, oh no, it's my old friend Ridge Holland. He's like, that's right, I'm your old friend Ridge Holland. And by this point, he's like,
and I saw you like a son.
Yeah. He's mid-air. And it's like, oh, I'll try and pull back. But it's all gone wrong.
I don't know what it was.
Whole thing falls apart because he's just like...
So it was crap.
No, I mean, in kayfabe, it falls apart because he's trying to win the match, but he doesn't want to hit his friend. He's been like a father figure to him.
So he just caught a dive like everybody else catches one, but it somehow hurt him more.
It's a human fridge. So
no, bad. It is so bad.
But I love
and it got even better later.
Chase U stuff is sensational. We'll get to that in a short while. You'll be surprised to know, Sidge, what came next was the women arguing in the locker room.
I saw this every week. Yak.
Yeah.
It's pathetic.
They see the footage of Roxanne hitting Lola Vice with a back fist last week, and Carmen's pissed off, and Roxy basically says, let's have a bare knuckle fight then to set up a match for later. Nice tribute for
previously in the locker room.
Was it in the first match where we got the Zeitgeist heist?
Yes. I forgot to write that down. You're right. Yeah. Yes.
Did someone do Hot Tour?
Vic Joseph.
It was a weird one, wasn't it?
I had to rewind it a couple of times.
Didn't even work. You just sort of threw it in.
Hot Tour!
Yeah.
Definitely not a...
Oh! Teachable moment!
Yeah, it was a shame that, because I meant to catch that. And then I was so confused by what he was referencing. I just sort of...
Yeah. On the subject of confusion over references, okay, we might have to do like another investigative journalistic deep dive.
Ooh.
We've determined, like, maybe not today, right? We've determined what it meant all along. One of these days, maybe over the next few weeks, we'll start to really think about what thang means. Spit on that thang.
Damn intriguing.
It's a cock. Gag, big fat gag.
Anyway, we go back to the locker room, and there is the leader of Chen NXT, Dante Chen, chatting with...
When I'm cleaning windows.
And Dante Chen very kindly offers to be in Nathan's corner for his Heritage Cup match later.
Lick arse.
Because Fraser says that he hasn't spoke to Axiom. Nerd! But then in comes Axiom. Nerd! Says, hey, we're partners. I'll be in your corner, of course. Everything's fine, guys.
Although, like, again, I'm just excited for the tag title match. Really could go either way. I kind of want it to go one way.
Ethan Page storms down to the ring. He gets a mic and talks about the upcoming PLE. Remember that?
I've forgotten the name of it.
Oh, he's forgotten it, Sige.
Doesn't ring a bell, but that is because I try not to discuss or think about this show any more than I need to do.
That would be NXT Heat Wave. I like it warm. Don't like it this warm. It's a week from Sunday, he says. Things are heating up. I can't really read, to be honest with that one.
No, maybe we should take it off.
I mean, well, our journalistic integrity is kind of slightly undermined, possibly by that.
I think.
Yeah. He says, we've just seen who's going to fight for the tag titles. And we all know who's facing Trick Williams, the Battle Royal winner, Javon Evans. Only problem, though, is he never eliminated me. And after that, I kicked his ass and pinned his ass in the middle of the ring. Scrap that match. Evans out, all ego in. But I'm going to keep it professional. And professionally call down Ava. She hasn't got to send Roxanne, General Manager of NXT, down to the ring. Out she comes. She says, well, all ego isn't just a catchphrase, you know. You really bloody believe it, don't you? You think you deserve the world and you can do no wrong. And
Ava, Rock's daughter.
You like to Rock's daughter at me.
Tin, tin, tin. Paige says when he's someone like All Ego who constantly bets on himself and levels up his career, that nickname's warranted. It's time for Ava to change the match.
Leveling up his career, all right, it's where he'll be working in a few weeks.
Ava says, you need to learn. I don't get backed into a corner. But, yeah, I've got a point, to be fair. But out comes Sean Spears, who says, whoa, 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 don't make any rash decisions.
I'm perfect 10, me.
I don't have no problems with Ethan Page. We've travelled same roads.
You went a bit West Yorkshire, then you moved across the Hull.
Yeah.
Rude,
Hull.
Page followed in my footsteps, though, because I pinned Javon Evans first. Page's like, what are you talking about? You got eliminated. Paige Spears says, you can never eliminate me. I'm going to pin Trick tonight, and I'm going to make Ava's decision a whole lot easier. Then whoop that Trick! Huge pop. Trick Williams covers out. He tells Spears to sit his goofy ass down. Says, doesn't matter who my opponent is at Heat Wave. Ethan Page, Evans, both of them. I know one thing, when we get to Toronto, everyone's going to be saying, whoop that. And Spears attacks Trick. All Ego gets involved and they double team him, but Javon Evans comes out to make the save and they clear them out of the ring. Security holds everyone back. And basically the tag match, not the tag match, sorry, the one-on-one match is heated up even more for later.
You like 80s pop, don't you, Sige?
Yes, I do.
I go weak in the presence of plotting. Having Sean Spears beating Javon Evans and being able to lay this claim, it's like, well, look, like, why by beating Javon Evans does that, like, justify you getting a title shot when I beat him well before you? And then Javon Evans being the type of figure as he was last week to like, I'll let anyone, I will take on anyone for this title shot. And then Trick Williams to say, it doesn't matter to me, I'll beat everybody on this show because I'm a fighting champion. That is how you organically arrive at a four-way. Whether, you know, four-ways are necessarily the ideal thing for a NXT PLE main event is another conversation. But if you're going to try and book one, like we always talk about how few three-ways are actually that organically arrived upon. That's quite convenient. No, they've put this. Like, Sean Spears was beating Javon Evans in a little mini TV program they were having that was logical within itself that then suddenly existed to service this. I think this is good booking.
Yeah, it's all right. It's all right. Speaking of 80s pop music, have you heard the French edit of Josephine by Chris Rea?
No.
Oh, my God.
Interesting.
It's absolutely incredible. Absolutely incredible. I'm not a huge fan of the original. The French edit.
There's something to that Chris Rea voice, isn't there? Sometimes.
There's something
when you're in the
to
mood
it.
for it, there's something to it.
This French edit of Josephine is quite something. It's the sound of the summer.
Yeah, all right.
Yeah.
Balearic quality to it. They were playing it in Ibiza, apparently. I've been, I get obsessed with things, right?
Yeah.
I want to know everything about the thing and how to do the thing well and all the rest of it. I just decided I was doing some cleaning at the weekend. I was like, I need some music for this. It's a very hot summer day. And I was like, right, Balearic, some kind of playlist. I was like, Chris Rea, on a Balearic playlist? I'm gonna have to check this out. And I played it. I was like, well, I'm happy. Yeah.
He's from Borough, isn't he?
From Borough.
Driving home for Christmas is about driving up the A19. It's just a literal song. Is I'm stuck in traffic on the A19. That's what it's about.
Well, speaking of someone in NXT who was previously on a road to nowhere, Ridge Holland's looking happy backstage.
That's Talking Head. You mean Road to Hell?
Oh yeah, sorry. Apologies.
Road to Hell. That's on the way, f***ing dude. Oh yeah. NXT.
Anyway, Ridge is looking very happy backstage.
Must be Tuesday off. I'm going to love it here.
It's Wednesday, so.
Tyler Bay and Pete Dunne show up. Say, what the bloody hell's going on? Dunne says, you were meant to go off on your own, and now you're just with Chase U.
Getting in the way of my dives.
Thea Hale calls after Ridge. He leaves, and then Hank and Tank come up. Love those guys. They want a match with them two. And Bates says, you've got it. And Crank and the Tank, they've got it.
Yeah.
But some good enunciations backstage, them two. They say words funny sometimes.
Yeah.
That's quite funny.
I think they just try and get stuff over on the off chance that idiots like us enjoy it. And it's like, we've got a thing now. Those dumb Mr. Bean looking asses laughed at us.
Stevie Turner's then back, but she's with someone I recognise the face. It's like, so good with faces, not with names.
Yeah.
He used to be a manager of a wrestler, but I can't remember.
It's Robert Stern.
Thank you. And they go back and forth, like going, what do you want? What do you want? And
Robert Stone
says he's been helping Ava, she's not going to say him, she's Rock's daughter, general manager of NXT, make a lot of big decisions. It's only a matter of time before she saw him as an asset. Stevie says, I've been helping too, but
Mr. Stone
says, you're just a narc. He says, this isn't going to work. And Stevie says, I couldn't agree more. They're at loggerheads, basically. They're not going anywhere. And
Robert Stone
says, you couldn't beat me on your best day. She says, oh, really?
Are they gonna have full sex? I don't think they might, because there's very much the whole. Because Vic Joseph said after the fact, "Oh God, they find more than me and you." I don't know why it's Tony Khan. They find more than in me and you, Brooke. That's how Vic Joseph talks. Yeah. So the whole idea is like there's some sexual tension there, and maybe they could clear the tension by having full penetrative sex. Missionary, doggy style, hair on top, all the positions. That's one of my favorite gags in Gotham regular. It's so good. But the thing
and they
is,
both want to be the assistant GM.
Assistant to the GM, yeah.
Sorry,
I'm not saying that, never would get dreamt of with these three fine, upstanding Dadleys. But, that sometimes people have sex outside of marriage. But it's been established when he's got kids and Mrs. Stone.
No.
You know what I mean? He can't just play fast and loose. Robert Stone.
Oh, and they do like a segment where she's just like, dude, kids are in bed, I'm just going to go on the internet. I might go on normal stream. So it's not normal streaming. Oh, my God. And full sex on Stevie Turner's normal stream.
More on this later.
Stonely fans.
Oh my God.
Yeah. He dead man.
Then it was time for Wesley versus Joe Coffey. Short match this. Lee wasn't messing
Joe
about.
Coffey, what were your thoughts on the England game last night? You've never kicked a ball in your life.
You never kicked your life, but I don't think you would like, who's good for anyone's good, so they want to be jealous of, and that's what they like, isn't it?
Oh, yeah, I don't know.
Being jealous of us.
Football
wise.
What, who would Gallus be jealous of?
Yeah, because, jealousy.
I was just thinking about how dour that game was, and Gallus would be like, I can relate, actually.
Right, okay, that's how you took that. See, I went with the other.
That's all right.
There's always jokes to be had.
Yeah, we're f***ing about how much they suck.
Yeah, different jokes, different needs.
Lee hit a charging knee to start. Wolfgang distracted him, though, and Joe nailed him from behind. Lee got sent into the corner. Backbreaker. Springboard elbow drop from Coffey gets 2. But Lee comes back with a spiking tilt-a-whirl DDT. Lee has to get rid of Mark Coffey at one point. Turns around into a power slam for 2. Joe Coffey sets up for his finish, but Lee ducks the lariat. Cardiac kick, 1, 2, 3. Post-match, there's Obafemi on the Eagles Nest podium thing. Says, congratulations. You're going to get a match for this for the last time for the North American title. I'll see you at Heatwave.
We're pretty harsh on Gallus, and justifiably so. But I will say, like, there are worse cartoonish jobbers than Gallus. I think the problem with them has always been
they're boring.
Why do they keep getting pushed? They're so drab and they're so dry, and they just will never not reek of that NXT UK vibe that nobody even wanted. And now that they just rock up and lose and have like an attitude and a chip on the shoulder and stuff, they sort of fit as heel jobbers. I don't mind them in this role. They didn't in any way make me concerned that they're going to get back into like the North American title picture.
Oh, they will eventually.
Well,
this is
maybe.
inoffensively short. There's the nicest thing I'll say about it.
I don't think Joe Coffey was bad here on the losing end of things.
I think he is. Bad.
That's fair.
Clunky.
Stunk up a few takeovers in his time.
Oh my God, I remember when he thought he was one of the pillars or something. He's going 30 minutes. What are you doing?
It was a pillow because I was asleep.
The family are backstage. To a spit on that.
More like Joe Decaf.
Last minute thoughts from Tony D'Angelo ahead of his Heritage Cup defense, and he said, "Oh, the only thing I'm concerned with is what kind of after party we're having, right? Look, seriously, this guy is dangerously fast. I'm going to have to slow him down. He's the current NXT Tag Team Champion. He's got a little bit more experience in these cup matches than me, but Stacks and Luca gave me a game plan. It's going to work. I'm going to punch him in the mouth and see how he responds. But one thing I know for certain, the cup is staying with the family." Oh!
I don't think you're going to punch him in the mouth, respectfully, Tony. I think you're going to go 6 rounds and you're going to drop the first fall to make it seem like you're going to lose the match. And I know this because 1, I just watched it last night, and 2, it's every Heritage Cup match ever.
I was an emotional roller coaster at Heritage Cup. I was up and down all over the place this morning.
The best one there's ever been.
Yes, brilliant. Sensational match.
Lowest bar in wrestling, but it's the best one there's ever been.
If Dave doesn't rate this on Friday, I'm going to be fizzing. Always disrespecting.
It goes 3.5 on it.
3 and 3. Then I'm always going to. I feel like I need to press this button. Hang on. Because what happened next was cinema. Ridge and Duke are backstage. A production guy comes up and goes, "Duke, here's those pictures you asked for from last week's match." But before he can open the envelope and look at them,
Just watch the telly.
But you can't.
Couldn't see it, Sitch.
Of course.
So you know how WWE works. There's only ever one camera on the action at all times. Yeah. There's not 16 in a perfect setup and world-class production. There is one camera.
Why would
we couldn't see it?
Yeah, but if they were live editing, they wouldn't be filming. It's not like they're filming. They're just.
Great point.
If they were ever held liable for something, they would produce those angles. And they thought they had a case for it in their defense. I think they'd find those angles pretty quickly, actually.
Creepy.com video saying Bugs arse. Still images.
Yeah, in fact, they still found that one, didn't they?
Well, NXT remains producing the best angles because what happened next was they all come in, celebrate, celebrate, yeah. And in amongst all this, Ridge just grabs the envelope from him and says, basically, get over it. And they go off, and Duke just shares a little look with him.
So is that why they did that ridiculous, what the hell is this finish in the turmoil? So it's like plausible doubt or whatever the phrase is.
Plausible deniability.
Yes, that's it.
Ridge is working for them. He's cheating for them a bit. But obviously you've got, at this point, Chase, you've got the title shot. All seems well after such a long time. Thea Hale's like a daughter to me, so he wouldn't want to be seen like the bad guy in front of her. Duke Hudson can't quite make up his mind if Ridge is good. He's kind of on board with him, but then he doesn't want to be a bad guy. But when the belts are on the line, is it going to be Duke that's going to be asked to choose? Andre Chase is none the wiser. Still not got around to look at the pictures. It's been 3 weeks. Don't know where Ridge has put him. Just hid him. Maybe he is going to hide them in like a locker at Chase U. And like Andre Chase is going to stumble upon them or something. Like he's put them on the desk and he's forgot he's left them in place.
He doesn't have a locker, does he? He has a fridge. That's where he keeps all of his stuff.
Like a mini fridge that you took to uni with you. That was too small.
Why were
two cans of pop?
He's so obsessed with don't you dare plug in your mini fridge.
Yeah, we weren't allowed. Oh, because the Lilecki bills, man. I took like a big one, like that, like a pretty big
fridge, like
no, it was like just looked like hot. You know your fridge that you got at home.
Yeah.
Imagine that like crunched to half the size, and it had a freezer compartment.
What?
And then like
fancy Dan.
Honestly, it was great.
Mini freezer,
like a mini freezer compartment.
Mini fridge that looked like a tiny snake.
It was so
I had space for 2 cans of pop. It was rubbish.
Did it get cold? Mine got freezing cold. It was great.
Oh my God.
And I remember, like,
Most popular guy on campus.
I would have probably, I think that someone would have come in at some point. Were they called subwardens at your halls of residence?
Knox is what we called them.
Yeah, but what's the official title?
I can't remember.
Well, they were called subwardens, right? Each little building. So at a rural campus, would have found out anyway. But like they were like, all right, I'm your subwarden. Here's my name. And I was like, the parents are unloading the boot at the time. She went, gone off that. What? Said, ain't not loud. So you're right. Why were there such knocks about mini fridges?
I also remember.
And you weren't allowed. I'll tell you what, you weren't allowed, Mrs. Subwarden. Essential roommate, and you weren't allowed. You just lived there. Just someone just lived there.
How's that? Yeah.
Rent free.
University not making a penny off this, are they not? Ask questions.
In fact, the amount of water and electricity this person's extra stuff is using, probably more than my fridge.
But I've got nowhere to keep my ice pops.
I know, where's the justice?
All I wanted was a Calippo.
I still remember being first few weeks of uni, and for some reason, some second or third years came round, just got in the building, and clearly were like, oh, it's a big halls. I'm just like, this used to be my old room. Like, big whoop, that's exactly how the halls work, pal. And he just stood there, and I was like, he went, pissed in your sink yet? Not yet. But, you know, thanks for the tip. Anyway, let's move on and talk about Heritage Cup match. Tony D versus...
Just the tip.
Tony D versus...
When I'm cleaning windows.
It was just there.
It was so fast.
It was fast, but it was mostly just there.
This might be my favourite, other than maybe Tony's title win, might be my favourite Heritage Cup match ever.
Same.
Nathan Fraser's really fast, and it's hard not to be entertained and blown away. But structurally, oh my God, the Heritage Cup holder.
I thought he was gone. Honestly, he lost that first.
Oh my God, he's lost the first. He's gone 1-0 down.
He's only got 5 rounds to pull it back.
I don't care to run the numbers, right? And I think, you know how there's these people that's like, I truly admire them, and I'm so grateful for them. Whether they curate like Pro Fight Database and Cage Match and WrestlingData.com.
Take the reviewers and stuff off Cage Match, and it's the best site ever in wrestling.
Yeah.
People are disgraceful. Opinions are awful.
Like, I don't think even those kind of people, and they're a very, very rare breed of like, look at what they are curating and spending all of their time manually uploading all this information, right? If I could go to one of them and say, all right, I need to know who won the first fall in every Heritage Cup match, I'd be like, no, I can't be asked to do that. But I'm fairly certain it's always the person who doesn't hold the Heritage Cup gets the first fall. Like, oh my God, if it stays like this, it's going to be a new champion.
Stax has been analysing all the
data.
Yeah, for all that for Tony D, so maybe he'll know.
Yeah.
We'll ask him if he comes in.
Yeah,
Is he expected?
I'd love to ask him. I assume so. He said he was on his way, so I'd love to.
Oh, class,
all three of us
class. All three of us.
Yeah, absolutely.
Mint. I mean, you're usually... doesn't matter.
Okay. So, yeah, Tony D is down 1 fall. But thankfully pulls it back in round 2. He hit a big backdrop, some shots to the ribs, and then he knocks Fraser out of the air, hits a huge spine buster to tie it up at 1-1. Surprisingly, we missed one of the rounds during a commercial break.
Oh, this always happens.
Not even a picture-in-picture. This went, you don't need to see the 3rd round. Nothing's going to happen.
They were right.
4th round's joined in progress. Fraser knocks D'Angelo
Love that. Round and a half.
It's one of those where it's
round and a half.
You just kind of... It becomes normalized that you just miss some wrestling. Yeah. But, like, you know, that just doesn't really matter. In a normal match like that, it doesn't really matter. I mean, you're not going to get the finish. You have to accept it. Like, a round is, like, more important than just an arbitrary 2 minutes. You know what I mean?
I will say.
NXT's stupid.
Like, the Vic Joseph and Booker T versions of the Taz, Tony Schiavone, Excalibur ad break conversations at the new Bret Hart Tom McGee, because what gets said when they're not on camera is it just silent?
They're just staying silent.
Are they like actual mates? Is Booker T like verbally harassing him, or like Vic's like, "What did you mean?" Right? Shut the fuck up is what I meant, Vic.
Yeah.
Don't talk to me.
Yes, show some respect, dude. Call the match, dude.
Call the match, dude.
Dude.
You call the freaking match. Getting hot over here. Hot over here, Jones.
very fired up on Jordan Grace, didn't he, yesterday?
Yeah.
I understand.
I love Taz. Yeah,
He squared it away.
I thought he did all right, yeah, in the end.
Honestly, he's kind of my spirit animal. I get these like impulsive reactions. It's like, what are you doing? I get it. In Taz, similarities.
So, yeah, D'Angelo's out on the floor. Another dive from Fraser. Gets 2 and they go back inside with a super kick. Gets caught with a spring. Gets caught as he goes for a springboard, though. D'Angelo hits another massive spine buster for 2. But he charges, posts himself, missile dropkick, but the round just ends. On to round 5. This time Fraser goes up top and dives into another spine buster. And they head outside, but D'Angelo hurts himself. Arm first, basically, into the step. Coast to coast gets 2 on D'Angelo. The crowd, this is awesome, quite rightly. Fraser knocks him off the ropes, hits a Phoenix splash. 1, 2. Round ends. Saved by the bell.
Wasn't fast enough.
6th and final round. Huge. This is...
Oh my God.
An avalanche belly-to-belly suplex.
That was cool.
It's a great spot.
You just know the finish when it's the 6th round.
And I'm like, what's going to happen now? Don follow that up with the spine buster. 1, 2, 3. Heritage Cup stays with the family.
This was a little bit of, and this is developmental, but he's been at this a long time now. This was a little bit, one of the Rockers is working a singles match on a Coliseum video against the Warlord, in that you kind of learn what somebody wrestling themselves looks like. Like, Tony D was there for everything. There's definitely a couple of spots where it's like, right, and its storyline, it made sense, but in the terms of him developing as a wrestler, it's right, I'm going to level up here and try and do this to beat a guy because he's somebody serious that I've got to put away. I have to take the challenge seriously. But if you watch this match, a lot of it just requires Tony D to stand over there.
Yeah.
Now go and stand over there. Please lie down over there. And Nathan Frazier to move and hit and buzz and move and hit and buzz and all that sort of stuff. And it just took me back to those, like, on their fan favourites. Somebody has requested Shawn Michaels versus the Warlord. What's that going to look like?
What's that going to look like?
Basically. Like, Nathan Frazier was fantastic here.
He always is.
Fantastic, but almost better in a position that tests him a little more as a wrestler. And I thought he put this together really, really well. Tony D was there for all of it. I'm still not convinced. I'm so sorry. I'm just not sure if we're going to get there.
Disagree.
Tony D is like, there's no rhythm or pacing to anything he does. It's
just
just
the tag team with Stacks. I think that's something.
It's the same thing though. It's like a move and then another move and then another move. I don't think the fact that like he doesn't play a traditional role doesn't help him. He's not like a heel, really, and he's not a proper baby face. Like, you don't sympathize with him. He's like quite powerful, and he's a killer. His character is a killer. He's a mafia guy. So the character doesn't help. So you can't really struggle for long periods, nor can he do these like really proper heat spots, because he's meant to be like a caricature of an Italian-American mafia guy. But he just does moves and takes moves and does moves and takes moves with no real build-up, struggle, or rhythm or flow.
I get real Logan
just
Paul.
Does moves. He just does some moves.
Get real Logan Paul vibes from Tony D, because it's like people can all criticize him, but like, well, if you've got multiple careers going on, like, you can't be in the performance center every day.
Logan Paul's better than Tony D.
I think it's kind of 1 and 1A.
Logan Paul's, I would say, a much
both
better.
changing the business in different ways. And I'm just very excited to see, when they get the big gold, how far this company can go with them. But you know what? I was so happy about Tony D winning, and he was talking about after parties, and I was like, you know what? Bloody love that. I love an after party. Me, I'm going to go downstairs because bloody computer's downstairs.
No, it isn't. It's there.
No, I had to borrow Ewan's for this. My computer's downstairs. I've bloody tied it to my desk, haven't I? And I'm going to go and check if there's any after parties.
Why would you tie it to your...
You never know in this bloody office, mate.
There's not many people around to steal it.
Yeah, exactly. You got to be eyes in the back of your head.
Head in a swivel.
Yeah, exactly. I want to go and see if there's any after parties in London, around sort of the bank holiday.
Yeah, but you're connected to the internet right now.
Yeah, but I don't want to recording on this. I want to mess it all up. So
you're not really, because
you guys talk for like 5-10 minutes about how Tony D's the future of the business. I'll be right back. Honestly, sorry about this.
Did you like on the laptop getting tight?
My elbows really hurt.
That's fair. It used to make me sad hearing the ribs where like wrestlers' gear got like chained to pipes and stuff. It made me feel a bit sad. I would think about the wrestlers getting back and be like, long match, whatever, long travel.
Yeah.
All my clothes have been cut up and my bag's tied to a pipe.
It's the worst when, like,
I can't sell it because the Undertaker will shout at me.
When the SmackDown arseholes, like, used to, like, steal passports and stuff. Like, imagine that.
Over a referee. No need for a big coat in the summer.
All right, Stack.
What do you think of the old Heritage Cup match? Another win for the Don.
Elements of it were very good, and one of the wrestlers had a very strong individual performance.
Oh, boy, did he.
And he did win.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Guys, you must be looking forward to the weekend, huh?
Not typically. Yeah, this one's got a nice one, yeah.
Big stuff going on for you?
England, isn't it, playing in the Euros?
Oh, is it now?
There's the Forbidden Door pay-per-view.
What the hell's that? I know I was talking to Bree, looking forward to Saturday, of course. National Camera Day. Hey, Sitchy, what's the deal with cameras?
The camera is a device with which you can take photographs. They have many real purposes. You can do it professionally. You can, like, capture the images of a sporting event or, like, huge, like, defining moments in history, like political events and rallies. And, you know, if you're in the right place at the right time, that image can be iconic, and obviously you can use it for recreation. You know, just like the chart, your family's life, really. The camera really just makes you cherish your life, remember it, recall it fondly. I mean, you'd forget what your children look like were it not for the invention of the camera. So one of the most, I mean, obviously it's good and bad. Because you can. I would have forgotten what my young children look like without the benefit of the camera. So it's really nice to look back on them at a certain age, and then that, you know, evokes memories, and it really is beautiful. But then there's the other side of the camera, and how nowadays it's so ubiquitous on your phone. You can have a really high quality camera on your phone stacks. And this has given rise to selfie culture, which, you know, hand in hand with social media, has in fact created this culture where you feel like you must look good all the time, find the right angle, and you project this sense of, you know, your own self-worth, and ultimately it appears like it's ruined it.
Funny you say that. I took my first dick pic with a Polaroid camera the other day, and I showed it to my girlfriend, and she said, I think it's underdeveloped. So 3 questions, 3 jokes for you. Each question, joke number 1. I like this joke, by the way. What's the difference between a camera and a sock?
Oh, God.
You don't wank in a camera? No, Stacks is dirty. Stacks is dirty.
Come on, let's keep it clean,
That
guys.
was just a joke answer for the pop.
We talked. I never got this. No, don't get the sock thing. Saw on American Pie, still don't get it.
Yeah.
He's living like that.
Camera. What's the difference between a camera and a sock?
So goddamn close yesterday, guys.
I know.
Yeah.
Struggling already with this.
What's the difference between a camera and a sock?
I'm worried about some of the things that they could say off camera. Anything in the lens?
Probably not.
Flash.
What's the difference between a camera and a sock? Why do I always feel like doing the setup in his voice?
I know, it feels like it's going to help, doesn't it? Yeah. To be fair, you do that run up when a big swear's coming. So you got something to look at.
What's the difference between a camera and a sock? Foot? Something to do with a foot?
Yeah. I mean, the difference is one's a
foot photo, like a spoonerism thing?
Oh.
You know, we're not getting it.
Yeah, I don't know.
Getting goddamn close, gotta say. What is the difference between a camera and a sock? Well, camera takes photos, and a sock takes phytos. So, you know.
That's good, Dad.
One for the kids. Old jokes for the kids.
I might tell James that joke.
Here's another one you can tell him. Hamlet, what do politicians and my girlfriend have in common?
So the camera must be part of the punch.
Camera related, yeah.
Goddamn hope so.
What does politicians and Ariana Grace have in common?
No names here. How you doing, baby?
His girlfriend.
What is politician?
I'll level with you, Sage. I'm concerned.
Yeah, I'm concerned about the. Just I don't know.
I don't know, Sax.
What do politicians and my girlfriend have in common? They're experts at switching positions in front of the camera, if you know what I mean. Final question, final joke for you, CG. What does a camera have in common with a condom?
The camera have in common with a condom. Something to do with shoot.
Oh, yeah.
What does the camera have in common with a condom? It captures a shot.
Yes.
Captures a shot.
So goddamn close, guys. What does a camera have in common with a condom? They both capture that special moment. See you later, guys.
I feel like I should get half a point for that.
Yeah, I reckon so.
I feel like... Oh, sorry. Bye, Stacks.
Oh, you're here.
Oh, yeah. Sorry.
something else.
Someone's had my computer from downstairs. I can't find it. So don't know where it is. Oh, wait, it's this one.
Where's Ewan's then?
Don't know. Probably
So that's actually stolen?
No, it's probably taken home with it.
All right, okay.
But yeah, so I didn't have a chance to look around if there's any like good after parties going around in end of August sort of time.
There's a Sweet Chin Disco one taking place.
Oh, that sounds good.
Well, the best thing about it is, right, the venue it's taking place at is just minutes away from Wembley Stadium. So if you're leaving Wembley, that's a perfect place to go to. Ergo, if you were going to Wembley, that's probably a perfect place to go to beforehand.
Absolutely. If anything's happening.
If anything was kicking around.
2 bits of bread.
Exactly.
What'd you get up to?
We were kind of where you left it. Yeah,
got lost.
More Tony D
stuff, great Tony D is, Javon Evans offers to be...
It's sad to think about wrestling ribs. Never like the idea of them.
I don't like pranks in
general.
general.
It doesn't promote a good work.
Has it ever been a good prank? I know people like... I don't know. I don't like pranks. Like Dom Jolly. I was never a big Dom Jolly.
I like the...
Other than Rio's World Cup wind-ups.
Yeah, you've been murked. I like the big hand from Jackass.
Oh, Jackass pranks are good.
Yeah.
Jackass is good.
It's sort of rubbish British comic pranks like a bucket of water over the bog or the cling film over the toilet.
YouTube ruined pranks as well because it was all just like, well, it's definitely just fake.
What I don't like about pranks is that they're mean-spirited and I wouldn't want to like terrorize people. Whereas Jackass, they're all in for it.
Yeah.
And it's the expectation that at some point, as part of my job, which is unbelievable, I will get pranked.
I think
I've signed up.
I think it's a credit to the first couple of seasons of The Office that like Jim as a prankster is still quite charming with it. It's a hard thing to get across because if you actually worked and you're like, oh, very good. Like my phone's full of coins and I've hit myself in that good one, Jim.
Yeah.
Like Jim's The Office knobhead rather than The Office.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, but they somehow were able to sort of keep that dynamic.
Anyone wants to meatball me, go right ahead. Are you ready for some meatballs? Love that.
Yeah.
Javon Evans offers to be in Trick Williams' corner, but Williams says, no, you focus on the title match. We're definitely one-on-one going to have at NXT Heatwave. And I get a bit nervous anyway having someone in my corner, which is quite a nice nod to the past. And Javon, they part on good terms. And then it was time for Roxanne Perez versus Carmen Petrovic.
Nice and short, this.
Lola Vice provided guest commentary saying her fists don't lie as Perez nails Petrovic in the corner for a 2 count. Petrovic got a bit of offense in. She fought up, hit some forearms, had the big spin kick blocked. Pop rocks for Perez. 1, 2, 3. Post-match, Lola Vice.
There's no real comment.
Oh.
Little comment.
Yeah, no, me neither. I like the post-match angle, though.
Yeah, Lola Vice comes in. They talk some trash. Roxy goes for the back fist, but this time Lola blocks it and hits her own 305, it's called, isn't it?
Yeah, what's good about this is that the back fist is a revenge attack for Roxanne Perez doing it to her first, but she's shown that hers is much harder and is now established as a finisher, established as a kill shot over the way they structured it.
Bit of booking.
Yeah.
And I like it wasn't just belt theft for belt theft.
Yeah. No, it's like this is a bit like sort of when you think, oh, hang on, Roxanne Perez, Jordan Grace, awesome. This is the best match they've got, and they're just doing it. Like, Roxanne Perez will probably win, and you'll think, like, Lola Vice is almost there, but that's all right. They're just making her feel credible in defeat in that wins and losses matter way. I'm glad they're just going ahead with these, finding the best matches for Roxanne Perez, because, like, sooner or later, she might get called up to the main roster.
Oh, Sid, what do you reckon to that? Just a nice moment next. I suppose not, just a very honest moment. We had I'm there on FaceTime. with the rest of the metaphor. He says basically Ethan Page's attack ripped the muscle right off the bone. You sense that's probably truer than we realised, considering he just disappeared. He's going to be out for a while. Oru says he's trying to get revenge on Ethan Page. And then he just opens up. He talks about how he loves the bunch of them in the metaphor. They made him smile. He talks about when he was a kid, his dad almost died in a car accident. There was fire. He got like 60% of his body burned. He got scarred up. He had to be sent to Switzerland for therapy. And as a result of that, his family went into foster care. They're far away from home. They're a place where they didn't know anyone. They didn't sound like the other kids. They didn't fit in. And he's always kind of felt that way until he met the rest of the metaphor. And now he feels a part of something again. And that's why he cannot and will not rest until he gets revenge on Page for Noam. And thanks, Aura, for sharing that. And says, it's beautiful. Here's the metaphor. What a lovely moment this was.
This is just a nice way to turn face.
Yeah, like quite smart way to turn face. Because as like heel arseholes, you just like, look at these arseholes getting together and being show-offs, basically. And then Lash Legend in particular sort of like leaps out the screen in terms of her development. You think, well, I kind of want to root for her now. So the baby, and then the Trick Williams relationship starts forming. Like, right,
it's not. You know, still hold a candle for that because
indeed, yeah.
I have a thought on this, which we'll get to.
So you kind of,
Jesus,
you're rooting for them as an act, basically, and then
who should I captain for my fantasy team? By the way,
is it just tonight's fixtures?
It's just tonight's fixtures. I've only got Castagna, De Bruyne, and Lukaku.
You know what, Lukaku, he's bloody due a goal, isn't he?
He feels like it. He scored like 3.
He's the highest goal scorer of VAR ruled out goals. So he knows what the bloody net is, and some of them are so marginal as well. Should there not be a margin for error of like 5 centimetres of stomach? It's like you're not actively trying to play offside. And yes, by the letter of the law and the letter of geometry, you've strayed offside. You've gone beyond the last defender. Maybe it has to be as absolutely hard and fast. And that's the only way people will be bloody happy. And guess what? Still people win you with it.
Big Ron then, captain, not rather over De Bruyne.
Big Ron. You know why? Look at the goals record on Lukaku and how many games he's gone without one so far. That ain't happening for a long time.
Due one.
It's due one. And De Bruyne, a magnificent player, one of the best midfielders in Premier League history. A big game choke artist.
They've got
where's the lie?
Ukraine today. All to play for in that group, actually. They're all on 3 points, aren't
they? And Lukaku will be motivated. I reckon Lukaku's going to get a brace. Put some money on that tonight.
Sorry, you were saying?
Never a better time for Aura to turn babyface. You took him as being an arsehole with that group and just thought it's because they want to show off. And now is the time to reveal the heartbreaking backstory that justifies why he would just be looking for kinship and just looking for friends. And Noam Dar's a very convincing bastard if he comes back and doesn't like what they've become, or you can just have him be a babyface with the rest of them. I like this development.
It's good.
Genuinely.
Or Noam Dar, in a true babyface gesture, says, what are you two kids doing? Reunites Trick Williams and Lash Legend, only to use that to worm his way into another title shot.
Yes.
Who Noam? He's injured.
When he comes back.
All right, it's going to be wild.
Does it whilst he's injured? He's like, lost this relationship, but you always see, because he's a better heel than a babyface.
He's the one that's been ruling out all these Lukaku goals, isn't he? No, I'm VAR.
Oh my God.
I had nothing to add, but I was listening.
Who do you think was winning the Euros?
I don't give a f.
Do you really not care?
Not one bit. I found this like tournament really dull. I don't like tournament football that much anyway.
What? You don't like tournament football? You don't like Christmas?
I've gone off actual football quite a lot over the years.
Yeah.
And then I don't...
What about back in the day?
It's... yeah. I never liked England when I was younger, ever. Like,
tournament football's the best.
Post France 98.
It's on free telly and there's multiple games a day.
Yeah.
All stars are out.
I really loved the 2014 World Cup. Loved it. I remember Germany humbling Brazil. I remember USA's amazing.
That was great.
Holland.
Just like Christmas and international football tournaments.
I've never cared for international football in general, but I especially don't like it now. I feel very detached from it. Here's a football conversation I'll have with you. It's only NXT, right? I was listening to a podcast recently where they were talking about and I feel this, and I was like, I really relate to that. Thanks somebody for drilling into
Just like dogs?
Nah, dogs can absolutely suck it, right? Or not. The
dog suck your cock. That's weird.
You drilling the dog?
I don't watch any top-level football anymore because Sunderland been out of the Premier League for so long. And then I watch the Euros, and it's top-level football. I was like, this game's like a rule has gone on top of a rule, on top of a rule, on top of a rule, and I find this game unwatchable. Like, I think football has been picked at, and players don't really play football. They play at playing football to try and work around. Referees like have to be analysed after the game. Players are playing for data a lot of the time. I see a lot of passes and think,
Play for what?
Data.
You've just done that for your stats. I don't believe in it anymore as a sport. It's not a sport anyway because all that's knackered. And then these podcasters in question were talking about when was it perfect? When was football perfect? And it's easy to say when you were 7, when you were 8, when you were just, when you were at your, right. And that's the easy go-to for things. And they nailed, for me, I was much older. I think I was 19, 20. Man United versus Arsenal when Man United broke Arsenal's streak, right? And there's the example. You still had absolute bastards.
2004?
Bang on, right? You still have absolute bastards like Martin Keown screaming in Van Nistelrooy's face for missing that penalty. So you had all the aggro of the proper game, blood and thunder competition. But that pitch had Van Nistelrooy and Henry on it. Yeah. So you had beauty and you had football and brilliance at the same time.
And Van Nistelrooy's celebration when he scored the penalty to break the streak was hilarious.
And it's just like, it's that sort of like perfect mix of the sport is changing, but it can change and be amazing, but it has also not lost sight of its roots as this real, like, thunderous competitive fire sort of thing. And I don't know what I'm watching anymore. I just don't feel like I'm watching football.
Was Ribery around in 2004?
Aye. Because December 2003, that's when he got that brace against Spurs and the 4-0, like 2 of the best goals you'll ever seen in the same game.
There was lots of class around then, but you could still go in 2-footed and maybe only get a yellow.
Greece won the Euros that year.
Yeah.
What annoys me about football is like it's so based on like tactical delivery, and you need to make this decision here. It's all like not like process based and like all this sort of thing. If you keep doing this, process, you will yield, goals will be yielded from this process. And it's like very like homogenized, like Pep has sort of like ruined that. But because it's all right, it's all based on like, so basically you'll get more, and I love him. And he's got a bit of that knobhead in him as well. But Anthony Gordon is such a great professional footballer because he's so good at this process, press, and process. Like the amount of goals you see now, there was literally one in the Netherlands Austria game yesterday. So many teams play 4-3-3 for this exact purpose. The amount of goals you see, you'll see them all the goddamn time. Inverted winger cuts in on right foot from the left wing or left foot from the right wing and hit it across the keeper. Because you know the keeper, you never go near post, so you go far post. They're modern athletes now, so they can run. And it's just that, go into that half space, cut onto your right foot from an inverted wing position, hit it across the face of the keeper because that keeper isn't going to be able to. Like, that's why you always say hit across the keeper. So they've developed now through the inverted forward, which is Ronaldo getting as many goals on the wing as anybody else. And Messi, I know you do false 9, but he would as well. All to get that cut in on his strong foot, hit
Robin
it across the face.
Robin would do it loads, wouldn't he, as well?
Yeah. Run through the half space. Someone can break the line because everyone's technical now. So you can have a centre-half breaking the line and getting it to that wide forward as much as the midfielder. That's why I always hear about line breaking and why even the goalkeepers now have to be good to be able to get into those areas. It's just very, very... a lot of the goals look the same now.
The skill and ability, you've nailed it there. The skill and the ability is in the process rather than being skill and ability at the sport. And I don't know, I don't really recognise what I'm watching.
Wow, you missed the good old days. Let me say the National League was where it's at.
Yeah? Like,
there's no rules down there.
The Championship's getting VAR next season.
It's not just, and there's again another part of this process-based thing is it's not just because obviously strikers are still. I mean, because of this, the proliferation of like the wide forwards in the half space and the cutting in, and like you see so many inverted wingers scoring that exact type of goal. They can also hit it in what's called the corridor of uncertainty, where the defenders don't know what to do. So that's how the strikers get a lot of their goals as well. I mean, you still get long ranges and stuff like that, and screamers and that, but a lot of goals look exactly the same.
I feel like I've aged out of football a little bit, and like kids that like would watch it now are watching a different sport than the one I grew up watching, and that's fine. Stuff changes, but that's why it feels less for me.
Do you ever grow out of wrestling?
God no, ever.
Bring it back to NXT.
And that's another thing as well. I've got wrestling as my first thing. A lot of people have footballers, and it was never my
Wrestling's
first thing.
it kind of follows a similar path. At least certainly AEW and what led to AEW, like this process based. If you do this, and this, you'll get a This Is Awesome chant. It's a similar thing.
Yeah.
Like double down, counter, double down. This is awesome. Process. And that's why there's loads of overlap in friggin' wrestling as well.
OC,
AI existed before AI.
OC and OTM brawl. Jada and Michin get into it. And then we see Ava, she ain't got to say, her daughter, general manager of NXT, telling Carly Bright that she's got a match with Wendy Chu next week. Lola walks in with the belt and says, when Roxy wakes up, give her this title and tell her I want a match at Heatwave. That's the boss. Yeah.
It's a good line. That's almost like Moxley-esque in terms of its threat and how much of a badass you appear by seeing it.
I've already kicked your ass.
Yeah, I've already kicked your ass. Get up and I'll kick it again.
Then it was time for Damon Kemp versus Tavion Heights, Charlie Dempsey, and Miles Bourne watch from ringside.
I might have made my cup of coffee, which is a convoluted process, during this and thought, I'm not really going to rewind it.
Well, it was to see if he was worthy of joining the NQCC.
I might have not done my job.
You should do it. You should have like a coffee spot every week, by which I mean always skip the gala spot.
Yeah.
There was a cool spot, actually. I think Tavion Heights hit like a shoulder breaker or something. Damon Kemp rolled to the outside, and Charlie Dempsey just popped his shoulder back in for him. The finish Damon Kemp hit sort of an angle slam to get a 2 count, but Tavion Heights escaped a second one, hit a huge spinning belly to belly. He has the 1, 2, 3. He's in the group.
He's in, as we thought he would be. Yeah, like this.
Kalani Jordan gets asked about who she's going to defend a title against at Heatwave. She says, look, last week was a confidence booster. I don't want any drama, though. I just want to face the next contender. Jada steps in whilst Kalani's leaving and saying, no. Michin, you want to blindside me? Street fight next week. Okay.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Michin's reps era yielding some decent performances. Like, she's wrestling like 80 times a week at the moment, and she's benefiting from it.
Yes.
Quite into Michin right now. Probably the most I ever have been.
Brindley Reese is trying to cheer up Malik Blade and Idris Enofe. Proud of them for a great effort, but fell short. And Idris said, look, it doesn't matter how proud you are of us unless we don't get wins. When Izzy Dame walks in and says, see, you're too afraid to say it, but you don't want her there. You don't want Brindley Reese. Because with her, you'll never amount to anything. Whilst all this is going on, by the way, taking Paxley's creeping at the window until Izzy Dame bangs it with her hand and she scares her off.
Division's in good health.
Carly and Izzy basically get into it. You got a problem? She's like, no, not yet anyway. See you later.
Give that a week.
Main event time?
Nah, miles off yet, mate. Because you got Axiom. Trying to console.
When I'm cleaning windows.
And Axiom's like, hey, tough loss, mate, but let's go and study tape because we've got a tag title defense coming up next weekend. And Nathan says, it's a good idea, but I've got to get ready because I've got a WWE speed match. So I've got to go and get my back checked out as well. And Axiom's just...
Right. Obviously, Axiom should have been prepared for Nathan Frazier, of all people, to eventually want to work speed. So that's a little bit on Axiom. However, I really quite like this tag title match at Heatwave. Excuse me, I've forgotten the name of the show.
I don't know. I need to.
Actually, Heatwave! I like it warm, don't like it this warm.
Don't encourage him, man.
It's really funny. Funny voices are funny. NXT. Yeah, this tag match, man, it's got a lot.
Yeah.
It's got the lot. Like,
what a weekend it's
sorry,
gonna be.
it's got the lot, and the match might even be good.
Yeah, it might be all right.
Like,
it's going to be a class weekend now.
yeah.
Really looking forward to it. Sol Ruka versus...
Hot in the T-dot. Yeah? In Toronto, right?
No need to apologise, Canadians. This is going to be a great weekend. Sol Ruka versus Ariana Grace.
Sex and the Six.
I was devoed by this. I had my money on Ariana Grace. But Sol Ruka dropped with it. The writing was on the wall when
Are
she
they doing
dropped.
Smackers on Friday?
Yeah, I think so.
Right.
Oh my God.
I'm just trying to think
What a
who's
trifecta.
going to reference Kendrick Lamar and Drake in Toronto.
That's the thing, yeah.
Probably Grayson Waller
Yeah.
on Twitter. And everyone's going to go, like Roddy Piper, actually.
I was worried.
Johnny Gargano's got to take a side on all this.
I was worried for Ariana Grace. The moment Sol Ruca hit with like an X Factor and then surfed on her back, thought the right is probably on the wall there.
I was more worried about it towards the end. Of
Yeah. Grace hit a suplex for a 2 count back inside. She hit with a running knee lift. But Sol Ruca eventually wins it with a soul snatcher. Nicest thing I can say there.
We don't.
Don't say anything nice, just say it was bad.
Yeah, we don't pile on botches specifically, but it's reasonable.
Unless it's Bronson Reed.
Yeah,
who should know better.
That's funny.
It was a botch, but you could have improvised.
Well, it's reasonable, I think, to point out a botch when it actively kills the vibe of the match. And the amazing thing about the Soul Snatcher is that every single time she hits it, like even though it's now her finisher, it still gives that little bit. Whoa, there it was, right there. Bit of a little bit of a shock.
Nowhere.
Yeah, and when she botches it and then just pretty much has to get to the point where they can do it again, you've lost the element of surprise. Yes. You've lost the feeling of, wow, she can hit it from anywhere. Like corners and sides are up the ladder. Like she's building up this profile of how she hits this move. And flat on her ass. Like, so it was a vibe killer here, unfortunately.
Roxanne goes to see Avi. She's got the same as Rock Dalton, general manager of NXT.
This podcast could be so much shorter.
Grabs the title. And she's angry. She blames Ava for all this. Ava quite rightly says, you attacked Lola first. She just hit you back, basically. And she says, well, you can get your revenge when you face her. Roxy's not happy. Kalani and Kalani and Jordan celebrate with Sol Ruca after the match, I should have mentioned. Say, we'll see you. Good luck to you. Good luck to you. See you, Heat Wave. And they walk up, and there's Jasmine Nixon dashing JC Jane.
No, this is my favorite bit of the show.
Joined by Fallon Henley. Says, all these veterans get left behind. Even goddamn Carmen Petrovic gets a chance around here before us. We need to change this business.
2 dead mans and a cane. I look like JC Jane. No.
JC Kane.
And JC Kane and heel Fallon Henley together is like, where's all our friends gone? It's like they've all been called up, guys. Yeah. They've all been called up, guys. All of them. It's been years. I love this. I look like these. We're sick of this.
I want there to be a spot where, I know she doesn't really do the bar thing anymore, does she? She had that awesome new gear at Battleground. I'm not going to do it again. I'll stay from that this week at least. And she gets misted, but she's got 2 masks on, but she's still a bit blurry, and then she gets the bar towel out and wipes it clean, and they still win the match.
Who's misted her?
Wendy Chu or someone.
Okay. This happens a lot in wrestling.
Yeah.
Get them over in NXT that their call-up is them winning the women's tag titles on the main roster. I love this team. Love them instantly.
It's so
I've just known them for years.
Yeah.
So it's like, there they are. 2.0ers. 2021ers. It's 2024.
I know.
Main event time.
Oh, God. That's very good.
Trick Williams versus Sean Spears. Ethan Page on commentary. Well, at least until Laura Mensah comes in and gets into it with Page. Pull apart brawl. That takes us to a break. We come back. Trick Williams hulks up now. Great. I know he's done it for a bit, but like, go on, Trick. Tries to hit a rock bottom. That gets countered. Spears hit a super kick for a 2. But Williams does nail him with a kick in the face. Gets caught in a backstabber, but comes back with a rock bottom himself. 2 count. And then a mystery person in a hoodie. Couldn't work out who it was. Brooks Jensen.
It's Brooks Jensen.
Tries to interfere. Security are there. They're on the toes. Ava's got them. But Williams and Spears are fighting on the outside. A dive from Trick drops Spears. But as they're trying to remove this mystery person...
It's Brooks Jensen.
He tries to... get off me! Grabs the top of the announce table. Twats Trick Williams in the face with it.
Well, that was quite a good spot.
And that allows Sean Spears to hit him with the C4 and get the 1, 2, 3. I'll do the last bit here. We cut to Ava's office. There's Stevie Turner and that bloke from earlier.
Robert Steve.
Thank you. They're arguing about who deserves a title shot, and she books a 4-way for NXT Heatwave.
No way.
No way. This match was... I found it hard to pay attention to. I don't know why. Anyway, all I remember from it, now that we are recording, almost 12 hours after the fact, or whatever. Well over 12 hours after the fact, actually. Was they did this, like, they tried to do this double down off a stereo, hit each other at the same time with a pumping kick. It just looked pathetic. It looked really, really bad. Finish was the finish. Here's something. Okay, I understand that they're both either from Toronto or at least Canada.
Yeah.
You've got Trick Williams and Javon Evans, right? Two of the coolest / most exciting WWE guys. I know Evans had a bit more experience or whatever. Just going. You've got the guy you've made versus the next guy you're going to make. And they're both like really cool, and that's so rare in WWE. And you've now have them entangled with pretty boring dudes, one of whom's well over 40, the other one's pushing it. I don't know, just doesn't, and that they've had to lose, albeit in, you know, screwy fashion, in order to engineer this four-way. I don't know, it just feels like I wouldn't be having them lose to these guys. If I'm having Sean Spears, certainly I'm having them nowhere near this. Nowhere near this. They've done it to get to where they've done, to get to where they are. It's kind of, the plotting has been all right. But is the destination worth it? Would I have just had Sean Spears have a match in Canada? Would I have put him in the main event?
I thought you were going to flag a possible issue with the two hometown or home country wrestlers being the heels. And in an environment where you don't really want these baby faces specifically to get.
You don't want to test them on Trick.
Yeah, the match is a good test for Javon Evans. It's a free hit for Javon Evans to be in a main event, get this great experience, and lose and whatever. Like, it's a nice way to slot him into the main event before his real NXT run starts. Everything feels like bonus at the moment, doesn't it? And he's like going to get going after he loses this. I've come so close, but now I've got to do it the right way. But yeah, the dynamic concerns me a little bit. With Trick and it never has previously, but
I have faith. Yeah, he's going to still.
You have faith in everything, though.
Yeah, obviously.
NXT's your
blindly loyal. Yeah.
I'm glad they're booking the four-way though. I would rather have a four-way than a singles. Like, these Trick singles matches, aren't it? And you're starting.
Going to have to get them.
I know. Yeah,
it's called a match, kid. You're going to have to learn how to work one without Ilya Dragunov.
It's what, like 3 PLEs in a row, maybe, where it's sort of felt like, the gimmick gets exposed, and then we have an awesome TV cycle, whoop that Trick, entrance, big building, whoop that
put
Trick.
the title on Tony D. That's standard delivery, that's what I said.
You know what I thought about now, because this match left no impression on me? Do you ever become aware of you doing something? Like, when you suddenly become aware of your breathing?
Yes.
You think, that's quite loud, or it's weird that I just do that without thinking. I just blinked then, and thought, oh God, blinking feels really heavy now that I notice myself doing it. Now I'm just going to do it all the time.
Loads of blinking.
Loads of blinking.
What's going on with Brooks Jensen then?
He's Brian Pillman.
Yeah. He's trying to get back in the company. Right?
This isn't going to help his cause. He's just cost the world champion.
Yeah, but he's not thinking straight.
What are you pitching for?
He's up the bloody tree.
Not what he did in the last week. Anything other than that, basically. Whatever he did in the last week, don't do that again.
The bloody tree.
But yeah, I'm very invested in it.
He's going to get a title shot.
I'm up the bloody tree. That's what the...
If he's left, though, he'll have to get new music, Sid, won't he?
I'm up the bloody tree. And if you must go, I'll give you that.
On that note, we will conclude. Let us know your thoughts on the best wrestling show of the week in the comments section below, or on X at WhatCulture WWE. Watch, you can follow all 3 of us. You can follow Michael Hamflett at
Michael Hamflett.
Follow Michael Sidgwick at
M. Sidgwick.
Follow me at Adam Wilborn. Follow us all at WhatCulture WWE. Make sure you subscribe to WhatCulture Wrestling wherever you get your podcasts from for daily wrestling podcasts. The Dynamite preview is available right now. And make sure you check out more videos on this channel whilst you're at it as well. But for now, this has been... I'm doing a bit more promotion. I've done some great stuff on here recently. Check that out. Yeah. But for now...
I like it when you get earnest from it. Not too often.
Yeah. But for now, this has been the NXT review. My thanks to Hamflett, Sidgwick, to Stacks. Thank you for joining us. And we... see you soon.